one. The Irish are headed to Tatertown. Matt, it's been a rough week for the Clemson Tigers. What's going to happen here? The Notre Dame Fighting Irish are a 3-point favorite on the road.
Yeah, it feels like Clemson's falling apart. Can't pick them no matter who they were playing. Give me the Irish -3 on the road.
Yeah, just like Matt said, I've done pretty well picking against Clemson this year. I'll stick with that theme. Like I said, I think when your headline is all about something that has nothing to do with football, it's not good.
Yeah, it's going to be the first time I think that that Clemson is going to have a losing record since they got their ass whipped in Charlotte, and they did get their ass whipped in Charlotte by Georgia. So I will take Notre Dame to cover that as well. I would not be shocked with either result in this game, but I just simply cannot trust. Dabo being indignant is nothing new, Matt DeBerry, but him having a losing record 9 games in the season would be. Oklahoma goes to Oklahoma State. If you've never been to Oklahoma before, you'll make it. Matt, tell me who's you got this one. Oklahoma is a 5.5-point favorite over the Sooners in Stillwater.
Yeah, the Pokes, right? Pokes?
I don't know. I try to avert my eyes whenever I go into Oklahoma.
Give me Oklahoma State here. Madness, bedlam, crazy game. I think them playing this game at home, they make enough plays, and I think they spoil the party and get the win outright, Ryan.
Yeah, I got Oklahoma. That's
all you're going with? That's
better offense, better team, bounce back game. Playoff is, I think, it's slim, but still on the line for the Sooners. I think they hold on to it for at least another week.
Okay, this is Bedlam. I'm going to tell you the only good thing about Oklahoma is the Pioneer Woman from the Food Network. That's it. Give me the Sooners by 5.5 to cover. UW is going down to USC, which is in Los Angeles. I am going to take SC to win this straight up, Matt DeBerry. I do not like the way that Washington's playing right now. I realize the score could be 77 to 73, and that's fine. Game's on ABC at night. Who do you have in this one?
I like the Huskies. If they're a real team that can make the playoffs and maybe win this whole thing, they should go down there and win convincingly. Bounce back game again. I always feel like they've got a bounce back game, but this one's a real bounce back game. I think they take care of business on the road. Defense, just enough stops, Ryan.
Still sleeping on Washington. I'm going to go USC at home. It's at home with the just you go from looking like a true contender to just kind of falling apart over the last couple of weeks. And it's no better for USC, but they've got the better quarterback.
That they do have. Let me tell you, they definitely have the better quarterback, but not by a ton, would you say, Ryan? You want to defend Michael Penix?
I don't know. I am a Michael Penix defender, but Caleb Williams is different.
Okay, this is the big showdown in the SEC, typically for the year. Maybe not this year, but we'll just see. LSU rolls into Tuscaloosa, Matt. They are they're getting 3 points at Alabama. I thought that was low. Go ahead.
Yeah, their offense is coming around. I think they'll be able to score a decent bit at home with LSU. Should be a fun game to watch. Points all over the place. Alabama's dreams are still ahead of them. They got to win this game. It'd be a solid quality win over LSU. I think they get it done at night. Place is going to be going wild. Give me Alabama -3, Ryan.
I'm going upset LSU on the road. I think that the offense is just rolling it's just too good. I think they're going to score. Alabama can't keep up with them offensively. I don't think it'll be not even close. I don't think this will be a blowout, but they're not going to get enough stops.
Hey, listen, you can stop and eat dinner with this Ocean View 7-piece farmhouse dining set from our buddies at EcoPoly. You see how this is 200 pounds of gear? Okay, you're going to get free shipping if you check the link down below. It's EcoPoly and Dawg Post teaming up for this season. It's made in the heart of Georgia down there in Dodge County. And you're going to get 15% off any order. Alabama's going to wish that they had 15% off of the LSU offenses coming down there. I think they're going to look. Alabama to me is a more consistent team than LSU. I don't know who really wins this game, but I'm going to go. If we got to bet it, I'm going to go with Alabama. That's my take at least, Matt. How about UCLA University of California at Los Angeles is going to Tucson. They're going to the desert to play at FS1 game at 10:30 at night that I will be watching. Matt, the Bruins are a 3-point favorite on the road. You tell me what happens.
I think they're going to go on the road and get it done. Last time I saw Arizona host a game at 10:30, nobody was there. It was early in the season. We were all watching that game. And I remember thinking, it doesn't matter if they're playing Tucson at all. I think the Bruins are playing a little bit better, but I haven't won on the Bruins all year. This is going to be the week, Ryan. I am rolling with the Bruins. Give me that win. I need a Bruins win. Let's go.
Yeah, I've got UCLA too, but Arizona, they've played some really good teams in a tough way, but I think they're going to lose at home. Like you said, their home field does not matter.
Total coin flip. I'm going to take UCLA just because I'm not really certain that I trust any team from Arizona ever for a lot of different reasons. Kansas State, who narrowly lost to Missouri earlier this year, y'all, is playing at Texas. They are only a 4-point dog on the road. Now, this is number 23 Kansas. We used AP poll, not the college football playoff. Ryan, Kansas State, number 23, is going to Texas as a 4-point dog. Now, I'm assuming this is so low because of the quarterback situation. I will take K-State on the road. Just give me the 4 points, and we'll just see what happens. Ryan?
Small line. I think Texas will cover it. If it was a big line, maybe when you're missing Quinn Ewers. I am lower on Quinn Ewers than I think the general public. So I don't think this is as big of a loss as maybe some other people think. But they're good enough to get it done at home without him.
Yeah, I think Texas is in a similar position as Alabama. They have everything ahead of them still. They need to win out. I think they're the better, more deeper, talented team, even with the backup quarterback, who's fine. He's a good backup quarterback. I'm going to take the home favorite here. I think classic Texas would lose this game, like Dean said, and maybe they do, but I think this team's a little different. I think they win. 4 points, not a big deal. I'll take Texas -4.
Hey, is Max Johnson good enough to where the Aggies are only a 3-point dog on the road? That's my question about it. That's what the line is in this noon game. It'll be brunch in the Grove, and everybody will love that. They better have a bunch of Eco Poly furniture there if you want your stuff to stick out there in the weather. But I know everybody at Mississippi probably won't be doing that. They'll bring out the chandeliers. I'm going to take the Rebs, though. I'm missing something here. If Ole Miss is only a 3-point favorite over A&M, Matt, at home, that is not a good sign for them next week in Athens.
Yeah, I don't think they're overlooking A&M. They do have Georgia ahead of them. They could be. I don't feel like they're that type of team. I think they have grown, and maybe it's a little different from some of these Ole Miss teams that we've seen. I think Texas A&M's defensive line could give them some real trouble, and I think in that way they could keep it close. I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of scoring here, but yeah, I think Ole Miss should be able to win at home by a field goal or more. So I'm going to take the Rebels here too.
Yeah, I don't get why the line is only 3. So I'm taking the Ole Miss -3 pretty confidently, setting up a top 10 matchup next week in Athens.
Yeah, top 10. Speaking of a big matchup, Matt, the Missouri Tigers, Missouri. You got Missouri, and Mizzou. Do you know the background with all that?
I've got to call it misery, so I think there's a lot of ways to say it. But I've never been.
You're in pure misery when you're traveling out there. I'll tell you that right now. I worked with an engineer from. He'd gone to school at Missouri, and I asked him one time, and he explained that you've got St. Louis, Kansas City, and you've got the rest of the state, and each area pronounces their state by slightly different ways. So what Missouri did, the University of Missouri, is they went with Mizzou. So there you go. That's my understanding of it. My understanding is also that they are a 15.5-point dog on the road in Athens against the number 1 team in the country, Georgia and Mizzou. Matt, what's going to happen here?
In my mind, the score I came up with was 35-17. So that means they cover. I think that they're playing better and better each week. The best football has been the last 3 weeks. All 3 phases of the game, the pass rush is there. We've seen excellent play by Carson Beck for several weeks now. They're playing very well. And I think playing in Sanford Stadium always it's so tough to do. And when you go backwards due to the crowd and the impact that the fans have, it makes things even more difficult. So I think Georgia gets it done. Listen, if you bring your A game in Athens, it could really slip away from you and turn into a blowout. I think this game could be that way, maybe close for a half. Georgia really gets it rolling, Ryan, and I think they cover down the stretch.
I think Georgia's going to cover this game. 15.5. If it was the 20.5 that it originally was right after Georgia beat Florida, I'd be a lot more hesitant. But 2 touchdowns and a field goal, yeah, give me that all day. I think this Missouri team's going to score, but I think Georgia's going to get into the 40s.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll get into the 40s or not or what. I took Missouri here. Unfortunately, the more I look at the numbers, the more I feel like it might be something that that you'd take Georgia. But I'm going to go against that feeling, and I'm going to take Missouri and the free points. I think that, when you look at Cook, the quarterback, Brady Cook, the quarterback, Luther Burden, they have run effectively, Missouri, generally speaking. Now, they were not great against Kansas State against running it. I think that real quick, y'all, and Ryan and I touched on this earlier, Mizzou, Matt, gave up 200-plus yards against both Kentucky and LSU on the ground. Those are the 2 most gifted teams that they've played. That's a problem. I think if they give up 200 to Georgia, Georgia's just going to thump them all night long. That's what I would guess.
Yeah, and I'm going to talk about this in a little bit, but they're the best third down team in the country. I wrote about that over on Dawg Post. They're doing the little things right, and they're very detailed, and they're clicking. I mean, they're one of the least penalized teams in the country, too. Those add up, and I just think that if Missouri doesn't bring it for 4 quarters, this could really get away from them, especially if Georgia has success on the ground that you both have talked about already. So a healthy Georgia team playing at its best. The pass rush is getting there, and if they do get up early in the second half, Ryan, Missouri's going to have to throw the ball. And if in those situations, we've seen Georgia just hit sack after sack after sack. So I like Georgia here for a lot of reasons.
Yeah, in terms of Georgia covering, that makes me feel worse about it, actually, just because it could be more like the Tennessee game last year where they get up to a lead and just kind of call it quits. We're just going to shut this thing down and get out of here. I also see that as a real possibility. I think Missouri's a really, really good football team. I just think it's going to be tough. Saturday is going to be I'm going to predict that it's going to be an elite college football environment when you factor in the weather, homecoming, just how gorgeous it's going to be out there, and it being a game that's a big deal. I think we're going to see an elite environment on Saturday, and it's going to be tough for Missouri to deal with.
I completely agree. And what I'll add to that is this. Missouri, it's November. Missouri's played 1 true road game, which was at Kentucky. Now, that was a really raucous crowd. Commonwealth can be tough, or whatever they're calling Commonwealth now.
Kroger Field.
Commonwealth
right?
Field? No, Mark Rick Field is in Atlanta at Tech. We'll get back to that one of these days. No. Here's what's concerning to me, y'all, because they played a game in St. Louis. So the bulk of their games have been at home. In Missouri Stadium, whatever it's called, Foley Field. What is it called? Is it Mark Rick Field as well? Farrat Field.
Are you talking
Farrat Field?
Fields, OUX or something like that?
I don't know what it's called. Yeah. Farrat Field. Here's the other problem for Missouri. I think that is legitimately concerning. Is they're one of the most penalized teams in the country. They're going at 7 penalties a game. That's more than Florida. Now, Florida came out pretty clean against Georgia, but they just got rocked the whole day long. I think that when you're going to Athens, that is a real problem in terms of too many penalties, Matt, and too much crowd and all that stuff. It becomes problematic for the other team. And if you're going 7 penalties a game essentially at home, that's not good.
Yeah, and again, covering is different than winning. I think Georgia's going, for sure, right? Because they've only lost 1 time at home in 6 years. They lost at Carolina in 19, but before that, you have to go all the way back to 2016. It is so hard to go into Sanford Stadium and play well for 4 quarters against an elite team, and Georgia's going to be elite for a long, long time. It's so tough to win, but as far as the points go, I could see it going either way, but I just think Georgia's better than them by 15.5, whatever it is.
Well, we'll just see you on Saturday. Thanks for watching. Make sure you're signing up for our newsletter. We'll see you on the website.